Oh yeah! Hey, it's Jay, and today I'm testing one of the most extreme Arctic military survival hacks. Will it work? Is it safe? Stay tuned. I'm going with an open floor tent today. The tent I'm using does have a floor in it, but you can zipper the floor out, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. This tent is really easy to pop up. Pops up in seconds. There's two reasons why I'm doing an open floor. One, when I first started my YouTube channel like 5 or 6 years ago, I used to camp on an open floor in the coldest weather you can imagine, man. I mean, it was freezing, and I had an open floor, and I did that for a couple of winters on this channel in a canvas tent. And while it was cold and a struggle, it was perhaps the most fulfilling for me in terms of learning how to be out in the bush, out in the woods. Another reason is I'm going to be using a pretty extreme heating method here in this tent, and it's proven. It might be a little bit, well, some of you might think it's crazy, actually, and some of you might think that it should never be done. But I know it works, and I know it's proven, and I know I'm going to need a lot of ventilation, and that is just generating all of my heat with an old Coleman naphtha gas, white gas stove. When the military do some pretty extreme Arctic exercises and they set up in tents, they use this method. And I know this because I'm getting comments from former military members who say this is what they used to do to survive. So I'm imagining that those tents set up on the tundra didn't have floors. This right here is a protective material that comes with this tent. And that's where I'm going to put the old stove. And I've got this grate here just to kind of keep it off the ground, and so that way it'll prevent me from maybe kicking snow into the stove, bumping it accidentally because it's so low. This will give it a nice base, and it's fireproof. The door's open and the window's open. This tent is super well ventilated. I'm going to let a little bit of pressure out of this tank, or a lot, I should say. I will close the doors eventually and just use the windows with the screens, and I'll use the stove jack as a way to ventilate this heating source. And you can see right here, I have another ventilated area. That's direct air coming from outside, feeding in nice and low, keeping this place nice and ventilated. I have to say I'm enjoying this open floor right now because when I have the floor zippered in, I'm often really mindful of all of the snow that I'm dragging into the tent. I'm not going to ruin it, right? Like I'm not going to soak my tent floor. It's just going to be the ground. And when I pack up and get out of here, it's going to be a real simple cleanup. So what I have is this military box filled with a bunch of stuff that I got at one of our, it's like an outdoor store, like an outfitter supplier store here in town. And get rid of this. And they had a whole bunch of like little knickknacks there. Like little things that you could use in a survival situation. So I grabbed a bunch and I think maybe I'll test a few of them out. And they weren't expensive, right? So I just thought, you know what, I'll grab a few of them and just have a little bit of fun. And that's what I want to do. So they've got this thing here that I could see working really well if it does indeed work. And it's a flint wheel. You just open up the back here and you're gonna have, these are, oh, and I think they're actually soaked in gas. These are probably soaked in gas. So they'll light. Okay, so that's in there. And these are like Coughlins. They're not really high-end things, but I know Coughlins definitely tries. And I can't get that closed now. There we go. Okay, and then right here, you unscrew this. Oh, and you've got your fire wheel. I'm gonna see if I can light the stove with this. You can see right here, there's a really tiny hole. And what you have to do is cover that with your thumb when you're putting air pressure into this tank. There's a little lever here and you have to turn it up. Up to light. After 1 minute, turn down. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna light this first. I don't know if this is gonna work. Oh, he wants to. You can see I've got it opened up. See what happens. Now, will it stay lit? Like this doesn't work. Okay, that works okay. It's got to really be ripped open though. And I don't know how long this is going to last for. So, I'm going to crank the stove. Oh, there we go. She's through. So after a minute, you turn down this lever, and I'm going to give it a few more pumps, and you got to take it all the way out. There you go, you spin it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can tell it wants pressure. It wants a lot of air pressure right now. So I'm giving it to him. And that looks wonderful. I can smell it. I can definitely smell the fumes. And I don't have the greatest sense of smell. So I did pump it really hard to get it going at first. And there was a little bit of fuel that I spilled. So I know I'm probably smelling a bit of that. So I'm just gonna let it kind of do its thing for a bit, cook for a while. I know this can burn for a long time, like 7 hours on a full tank of gas if you're burning it on low. That is a very steady heat source. 7 hours is a long time not having to deal with heat because you're just getting the heat and it's reliable, as opposed to with wood, which I believe is much safer, by the way. With wood, you have to get up often in the middle of the night when it's really cold. I can smell the fumes at the top of the tent. And that's not good. I don't know. I do not know how people do this or how they've done it, right? I know it's been done for a long time, but I can smell fumes. Now, I don't know, maybe I'm not burning hot enough, but does that make any sense? I've used stoves inside tents many times. Many of us do. You've seen stoves used on YouTube a million times inside confined spaces. And for the most part, I've been a propane guy, and I find propane doesn't smell as strong as this, but I know it's just as dangerous. I've got this really weird fire paste. I'm not going to use, I could use fire paste. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a little bit of fire paste in there. Then I'm going to use this fire steel, which I don't know if I believe in. Oh yeah, okay. We're gonna open this up. And there we go. Look at that, baby. I'm allowing for a crazy draft to come through. Like, I'm staying warm over the stove. If it was minus 50 outside, I don't know, man. I would have no choice. I would have to make a choice. I would have to make a choice. Do I want to be cold and almost freeze to death? Or do I want to be warm and maybe like die from inhaling, you know, carbon monoxide or fumes or whatever? It would be a tough decision to make. It would be a really tough decision to make. I think I would choose this with as much ventilation as humanly possible so I can have some heat. It's an interesting experiment for sure. It's fun. This is fun. I am out doing something, trying something, what I believe is in a very safe way right now with lots of ventilation. I'm just figuring stuff out, and that's what this is. This video is about me figuring out, would I do this? Would I do this crazy Arctic cold military trick to stay alive? I don't know. I'd like to hear from you. I don't think it's that horrible. I just feel like I'm really hyper vigilant right now. I've got a pretty cool little mess kit here with everything I need in terms of like cooking supplies. I've got my plates, I've got my my frying pan, and I've got my pots. Everything I need is in this little kit. And so I used to have this really old, not old, I used to have this Stanley kit, and I destroyed that thing, man. Like, I used the living heck out of that thing. And so it was time for me to get something new. This should boil pretty fast. This is pretty good though, I gotta say. This is enjoyable. It's loud, eh? Gives off quite a bit of noise. That would actually probably help me fall asleep, to be honest. I don't know, like, do you guys like to use a fan or some sort of like white noise sound at night to fall asleep? I've been doing that for probably 25 years. Since my early 20s. I've had some sort of noise in my room, and it just like usually keeps me asleep. I'm one of those people. So this stove would keep me asleep for sure. I'd love to hear from you. Like, do you have one of those apps on your phone, or do you have a fan running in your bedroom? Does that help you sleep? I can't get this place to warm up. It's warm up top a little bit. Like, I can feel a temperature difference up here, but down on the floor it's freezing, man. And look, you can see my breath still. So it's cold, and I have everything open, right? I'm slowly getting comfortable with like kind of like closing things a bit. I'm just using the screens now. So down low it's like really fresh. Up high it's not so fresh, but up high it's warm, and down low it's cold. And this open floor, and I know it because of my experience doing this for a couple of years, it's a heat suck, right? It just sucks all the heat out of everything. Man, it just kills you. And if I had like an insulated pad underneath of this place, I'd probably be actually quite warm right now. If I had my wood stove in here and I was blasting it, I could get this place up to temperature in no time. Like, it would just be radiating everywhere. Whereas with this flame, right, you just got this little ball of heat. And like right here, I feel it, it's hot, but man, it's not like putting my hand over a stove. Like, yes, if I go lower, I'm gonna burn my hand, but it's, there's no comparison as far as I can tell right now. The wood stove reigns supreme. But man, this floor is hurting me here. I know if I was to spend the night here, the floor would just be like, I'd be competing with the floor. You can see here on the floor, it's like -5 Celsius, like 23, 24 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's put it up top and see what happens. And just pull that pin in. That pin's gonna go right there in that hole. So it slides up in like that, and now you're solid. I'm a bit off balance here. I'm gonna try to even it out a bit. Yeah, okay, that's better. It's looking good. Oh, that's so tender. Wow. I'm only going to eat half of this right now, and I'm going to eat the most tender part. Oh, baby. And I'll save this part right here for sandwiches. I mean, this is perfect right here. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. Medium rare, juicy as heck. Wow. Now what I need to do is put that in a place it's not going to cook. drop some onion. Oh my gosh, that looks phenomenal. I know what I'll do. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off. And then I'll put that there. I'll put him there just like that. Okay. Wow. Holy smokes. Amazing. Oh. Oh my gosh, it's like butter. Mmm. Mmm. Phenomenal. That is phenomenal. What I like to do is just use wipes. Sometimes, if I don't have a proper means to clean, and I'll just like wipe things out, get a bit of the food out of there, not like a perfect clean, and then I'll bring them home and clean them proper. I can tell you guys right now, if you expect to see me sleep in here with this as my heat source, you can turn off the video right now, because there is zero chance that I'm going to want to do that tonight. It is crazy. It is crazy. I'm having so much fun out here, and I just had maybe the most delicious steak I've ever had on this channel. And I just love being outside, and I love using stoves, any type of stove. Like, I'm a stove fanatic. But this is unnecessary for me right now. I do not need to do this, right? I'm not in a situation where I need to survive with this heat source. So there's no way. There is no way. I can tell. I can taste it, right? I can taste it in my throat. When I stand up, I can smell it, and I've got the worst sense of smell, man. The worst. Okay, here's the Coleman lantern. And danger written all over it. Carbon monoxide. This appliance can produce carbon monoxide, which has no odor. Using it in an enclosed space can kill you. I have every window and door open. That's what I've been doing here. Whew. Right? These are extreme. Look at that. That is so extreme right there, man. And look, they even have like a little bit of cotton right here. So if I needed to use it for tinder. And I see there's some flint right there. Whoa! It's like a flare. Wow, that's pretty cool. I'm not sure how you're supposed to light this every time. Like, do you light it and then put the glass down on top every single time? There are a couple of holes here. Maybe I can stick a match right through there. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that, man. That is gorgeous. Wow. That doesn't feel right to me. That feels better. There we go. It's weird, eh? It's pulsing. Have you ever seen a lamp do this? I don't know if it's because the fuel's trying to make its way through. Not sure. But that is lovely. All right, I just filled it up again. I got a ton of fuel in there now, and I'm hoping that makes the difference. Whoa! Okay, let's see what we got. I let it cool down. 0 degrees, 32 Fahrenheit. So I could get it way hotter in here, but I'd also probably suffocate. Yeah. Whew. They're strong. That is strong. Here's my thing. Don't do this. Don't try to go out in your tent and survive with a gas stove. Don't do it. It's just not safe. I just can't. Like, I thought to myself, I'm gonna be tough. I'm gonna make this video and I'm gonna be tough, and I'm going to sleep with the Coleman lantern and the Coleman stove, and I'll be tough and I'll do it and I'll make the video. But man, like, no, it's not recommended for sure. It's not recommended. But that is nice. You have to admit, that is nice. It's hard to beat a lantern like that. And it's not too hot. I mean, it's pretty hot. If you're to hang this, no, I don't think it would burn. Maybe I'll pop it up. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Will not recommend it as something to do for fun. If you need to do it for survival, then I don't know what to tell you, man. It's you got to do what you got to do, and respect to those who have done this and lived, because holy smokes, the fumes are nuts. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be back really soon.